Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on? What's good? We are here checking in for the midweek report for March 26, 2025. We got a lot of action that's coming up this weekend, so we're going to be, seeing what we can do as far as like covering all of those events for the weekend and also waiting for, our special guests to join in as, we'll see if we could talk with our special guest about, what went down this past weekend as was a great event that happened over in Australia as we had a new world champion there for what went down in Australia. So we're gonna see if we could get our special guest on here to talk about that and a few other things that has been going on, at least within the area, as we have a lot of action that's coming up here within a couple of weeks. Not just all across the country, but at least in the DMV area. So we do have that is scheduled here and stuff like that. And big shout outs for everyone that's listening live and here that's going to be also watching the replay. We got my guy that's on the live chat here right now on YouTube here, Smack Like That. What's good with you? Of course, Smack is going to be included in a special presentation of the debut for the DMV Boxing Network show that is coming up on Friday night. So we're going to have the DMV Boxing Network show on Friday night for people to look forward to as we're going to, kind of like kick off promotion for the card that's happening April 12th at the Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland. So that is the No Excuse Promotions card that'll be on ProBox TV. So definitely looking forward to that there for April 12th because we got a lot of fighters that are going to be included on that fight card. We're going to be talking about that fight card on Friday. We're going to have guests on there scheduled to have Lamont Roach Sr. on as a guest for that show, the DMV Boxing Network show on Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely looking forward to that, right? And also, with April 12th, they got, a lot of events going on in the Huntington Center in, Toledo, Ohio with Albert Bell. You're also going to have that unification bout there in the welterweight division between Jerron Boots Ennis and Iamana Stanionis there. So you got a lot of action just right there on April 12th. And I think there's going to be another thing over in, if I'm not mistaken, over in New Mexico there. So, yep, that April 12th over there at Maryland Live. Short Dog Jordan White is going to be headlining. We got a number of fighters featured from the DC area or DMV area that's going to be part of it. You're going to have Jordan Roach on there. You're going to have Ben Johnson on there. You're going to have Francois Scarborough on there. You're going to have Eric Hernandez is going to be on this particular card as well. It's going to be, pretty much stacked on this thing here. You're going to have I think it is they got Francois Scarborough Jr. that's also going to be part of that card as well. Stephen Shaw versus Rafael Acquagiori is the co-feature bout on there too. So you're going to have the body statue David Whitmire on this thing. Irvin Fuller III is on it. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot there, on April 12th at the Live Casino over in Hanover, Maryland. So that's what we got there for ProBox TV, right? And like Smack's saying here on the live chat, man. Yeah, you got Ben, Jordan, Francois, Scarborough. You're all undefeated there, representing the area for real. Yeah. And we also got, Irvin Fuller III that's gonna be on that card as well, So it's gonna be a number of undefeated fighters that'll be featured, on this here. So that's what we got, on slate for April 12th, right? And let me see here. I was also talking about, the fights that are going to be in Atlantic City, So you got, those fights in Atlantic City. You got, Boots Ennis versus Iamana Stanionis. That is going to be, for the IBF and WBA welterweight titles. And you're also going to have Ray Ford that's going to be on the card there against Thomas Matisse. You got Shakram Giasov that's going to be on the card there. You're going to have Omari Jones with his second pro fight. You're going to have Zakeem Moses with his third pro fight on there. So you got a number of fighters that will be featured on that card in Atlantic City, Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City on April 12th as well. And like I was mentioning with Albert Bell, he has his card that's going to be on the same day there, where he's going to be featured to fight on the Huntington Center, right? So definitely got a few things here that we're looking forward to having on April 12th, and that's just 3 major events, man. What does it got here real quick? It says, what fight besides Boots you think is going to be a good one? What on that card? Yeah, that's a good question though. That's a good question. I mean, I want to see what Raymond Ford does. I want to see what Raymond Ford does against Thomas Ortiz. Yeah, that's going to be there in the super featherweight division. Ortiz said, just got off of, what was it, against Rocky Hernandez, right? He was over there in Mexico in September against Rocky Hernandez, right? And that one was, a technical decision, but it looked like he was, getting out boxing that there a little bit before that technical decision. But I wanted to see like how the rest of that fight would have, turned out. You know what I mean? So I want to see like how Raymond Ford handles himself against Thomas Matisse there with this upcoming bout. That's likely going to be the co-feature there on that April 12th card in Boardwalk Hall. So, that's what I got in reference to that. You know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of action there. That's going to be on the zone. You got the Pro Box card, as I mentioned. You got, Albert Bell that's going to be over in Toledo, in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio, that's going to be featured on that particular card. So, they're working on finalizing that card over there in Toledo as well. And I think there's going to be, like I said, some in New Mexico, I think. What I filed, like, try to look it up. I think you may have, who is it? Shane Mosley Jr. He might be on this card coming up here pretty soon as well. I'm just trying to confirm that. Yep, that'll be April 12th against DeAndre Pettis in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah, so listen, you got all of this action. That's 4 cards on the same day for people to look at. But right now, I'm very thankful to have our special guest that's just about to come up here to join us. Of course, he's still recovering from the long flight, that he had there, back and forth and everything like that. But it was a great experience as he led his fighter, Tiara Brown, to win the WBC featherweight title over Skye Nicolson. Okay. He is based out of the Hillcrest Boxing Gym in Maryland. That's right. It is Ernesto Rodriguez in the building. What's going on?
Hey, man, glad to be on the show. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Like I said, I mean, you had, long flights, whether it's like, 2 flights or whatever it is, you have to, go. Sometimes it's like you got to go to like Los Angeles, from here to Los Angeles, and then fly over to Australia and do what you had to do. And then, go in the long flights back. But, like I said, you were able to get the job done. And Dark Menace was able to get the win there, to get the decision win over Nicholson to win the title right there. At least I saw the fight there, and it was something that she was definitely looking forward to. She used her experience there over the course of the bout. And for me, I thought it was the defense early that she was showing, as far as like using spacing, using the reach that she had, and things like that to have Skye actually have to fight closer a little bit, which is, at least I felt like that was what Tiara Brown wanted in the second half of the fight. Now, was that the game plan going in, and did it play out the way that you saw it?
Well, we looked at Skye Nicholson's tape. I looked at her tape, several of tapes from the pros and the amateur, and I noticed that she was very good on her feet. She had very good movement, and she's already a southpaw, which makes it a bit awkward, and then a moving southpaw to be exact. So we knew that we had actually cut the ring off. It was something that we knew from the very beginning. Uh, I didn't feel comfortable trying to box her because of her style of fighting. So we went into camp with the mindset of we got to cut the ring off, and we had to make her fight a fight that she never fought before. She fought at one pace, pretty much her pace, moving, hit, move. She from what I observed, she had a very good style. She had of how to manage the 2 minute clock, hit, move, and most of her fights she won that way. So it was it was it was something that we knew that we had to cut the ring off and we had to make her fight a fight at a pace that she wasn't used to, in which we trained constantly with one of our pros, Marlon Smith, who's a southpaw. And from the very beginning, we worked on cutting the ring off, throwing a lot of punches, and applying pressure. So we went all the way to Australia to accomplish a goal, and by the grace of God, everything went according to plan. It was a good fight, and yes, it was a plan to make sure that we apply pressure. Yes, sir. To answer your question.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was able to at least watch Skye Nicholson's fight against Diana Vargas last year over in Philadelphia. So he had that fight to observe, and then the next fight that she had was against Raven Chapman
Mm-hmm.
there that was in Saudi Arabia. So there was a couple of things there that you kind of saw from Skye Nicholson's fighting style. But one thing that I seen there in this fight is with it being an orthodox versus a southpaw, the key thing for me is where your lead foot is. You know what I mean? So if you had your lead foot on the outside of the opponent's lead foot, you pretty much like limit their ability to get away from the pocket basically on both sides. They only have one option to get away from the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes either they'll be uncomfortable on stepping off to that side, or they will only be able to step back. You know what I mean? So at least I saw that, very early in this fight here with Tiara Brown, making sure that her lead foot was on the outside and, just kept that, left hand there active with the jab. And like I said, with the range, she was pretty much
Absolutely.
within range to do what she needed to do and
Mm-hmm.
kept, Skye Nicholson out of range for when she, throws the jab and that type of thing.
Absolutely. A southpaw. One of the keys is to keep your left on the outside of their right foot, so you can throw the right hand and the left hook to land those shots. And we knew that she liked to use the check hook, so we knew that in order to keep the left foot outside, as she throw the check hook, we could catch her hook and come back with our own hook or a jab. And Tiara did that very well. And towards the latter rounds, if you watch the video, Skye Nicolson wouldn't even throw the left hook. She wasn't. I mean, the right hook. She wasn't throwing the hook because she knew that we had taken that away already. So at that point, it was more of a inside fight, and we already knew that she didn't have too much experience fighting on the inside because everything that she did very well from the outside. So the game plan was to make sure that we got on the inside and hit the body, in which Tiara did a phenomenal job going to the body and slowing her down, and then going to the head. Um, it was a very tactical fight at the beginning, but we made it more of a dog fight. As Tiara mentioned from day one, I'm going to take the pressure to her.
Mm-hmm.
She came to her hometown, and actually, if you pay attention to the crowd was quiet. Uh, they were very loud at the beginning, but as you know, when you're in hometown and you're not doing so good, people get quiet because it's not going the way they wanted it to. Not
Mm-hmm.
only were we fighting Skye Nicholson, in a way it felt like I was fighting the ref too because I kept complaining to the ref.
Yeah.
I got upset with him because there was so much holding on that Skye Nicholson was doing, man. It was obsessive. And
Mm-hmm.
what bothered me the most, because I mentioned this at the prior meeting the day before and the day of the fight. I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned it because I knew it was going to happen. And when it began to happen, it seems like the refs just wasn't doing, in my opinion, wasn't as doing the job as best as
As
he could
referee,
have.
yeah.
So I was upset because it took away our momentum some. I think we could apply more punishment if we could have, but with all excessive holding, it kind of made the fight not as exciting as it could have been. It could have forced Skye to fight a bit more than we wanted to, and I believe she would have got a little bit more tired than she did, and we probably would have had a better chance of landing better punches on her. But nevertheless, we got the win. We got the decision. I definitely feel like we won the decision unanimously. Nevertheless, we got a split decision. By the grace of God, we went to foreign soil and we got a fair decision. I'm happy. I'm happy with her performance. I'm happy with the way things turned out. She waited a long time for this fight. She was avoided.
Oh yeah.
Skye avoided her, and eventually she had nowhere to go. So she said that she gave us an opportunity. No, she didn't give us an opportunity. We earned that opportunity. We earned it, and it was time to put up. And that's the reason why the fight was made. Because if it was up to their people, they would have been fighting somebody else.
Yeah, they tried it. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because remember I was out there for Tiara Brown's previous fight over at the 2300 arena. But you were talking about the thing there, like with the ref, and that was one of the things that kind of like what stood out was that the whole thing with the holding and all that stuff. And shout out to Christine, of course, in the ring with Christine. She had like made a post on social media about like all the times that Skye Nicolson was holding it, and she was like showing pictures, and it was like she said it was like 3 out of 100 times that Skye Nicolson was holding. But I pretty much followed up. I said that was like 3 out of 300. But I mean, still, you still was able to get through all of that and get the victory, right? And you talk about the thing there with the scorecards, like even though it was in Australia and everything like that, you had 2 judges there having it in Tiara Brown's favor, right? Now, when you heard the scores being read by David Diamante, were you nervous when that last score was read?
No, actually I wasn't, because if you could hear it in the background, I said "and the new" right before he said it. I was confident. I didn't even know it was an Australian ref, but when I heard 97 to 93, I said this got to be for us. There's no way that they gave this to her after we applied the pressure, after we forced the fight, after we landed the hardest shot. I said it has to be for us. If you get pay attention to the I say "and the new," and then right after that, Diamante said "and the new," and I just jumped. We all jumped. I started celebrating. What a moment of joy. I tell you, man. Listen. When you have faith, and that the scripture said, "Faith without works is dead." But when you have faith and you apply the works into your faith, you begin to manifest what you said you was gonna do, what you believe you was gonna do, and all of that came to life. For those that don't believe, well, here it is. You see it. You need to see to believe. Here it is, right before your eyes. I mean, we manifested what we've been saying. But from the very day that she came to camp, when she flew in from Florida to Maryland to stay here in Maryland, that work, and for me, it was no doubt. I was telling everybody, "Hey, we're gonna win this fight." I'm 100% confident. I think I told you when you came.
Yep.
I'm 100% confident that we're going to win this fight. There's no doubt. As long as we go over there and we get a fair treatment, in which we did, and hey, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I mean, we went in there with the mindset, with the belief, with faith. Here we are. We have this conversation now, talking about what manifested on that night over there in Australia, Sydney, Australia, for Tiara Brown.
For sure. Shout out to my guy Lou, Light Skin Lou in the building there. It says there, congrats, man. Of course, my guy Light Skin Lou.
Light Skin Lou, yeah, I know.
Of course, you got an interview out there with Eric Hernandez that's on Instagram, on the Instagram live there on his Instagram too. So y'all go ahead and check that out.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Eric Hernandez is one of the guys that I work with. On April 12th, I'll be working with him, Francois Scarborough Jr., and Irvin Fuller III. We'll be having 3 on that night at Maryland Live Casino on No Excuse Boxing and Pro Box. Man, we're looking forward to that, man. Can't wait.
Yeah. I was talking about that before you got on, man. That's definitely a stacked card that's going to be out there in Maryland Live there through No Excuse promotions. They're of course televised by ProBox TV, and of course, you was out there over at your Rosecroft Raceway, back when they had the last No Excuse Promotions card
Right.
there, with your fighters. So you
Mm.
definitely, like I said, you right back at it there in the gym over at
Right.
Hillcrest with those fighters.
Right. Absolutely, man. Looking forward to it. I mean, that's what it's all about. Getting my guys the opportunity to display their ability, their talent, their gift before the whole world. And we got a lot of guys coming up. Additionally, we got Jay Hutchison as well, and we have Maximus Garland, who's undefeated 7-0 with 7 knockouts.
Yep.
Man, I got a stable of some very good fighters. And we just want to keep discipline and a good attitude, represent ourselves very well each and every time. We don't do a whole lot of talking. We just come in and let the work speak for itself. We represent the DMV to the fullest. We have a great talent of fighters here, and you're going to see quite a few of them on that card. And Tiara Brown just set the tone for my guys, my 3 guys that are going to be on that card. She trained. She showed them what hard work is about and dedication. While in camp, she kept a very strict a mindset. Hey, no horsing around, no playing around.
Yeah.
And I think they understand what it feels like to be in a training camp for a world title, and then to win the world title, the WBC featherweight championship of the world. Man, that's fantastic.
Yep, no doubt on that. And you're always gonna go back on that thing there with Tiara Brown because like you talk about, it's about all that hard work and having that announcement there. That was culmination of all the hard work that had been put in for years there with Tiara Brown. Like I remember like being back at what was it, Bowie State University,
Yes,
September of 2018. Like this one was September of
I
2018
remember.
against
I
Jasmine
remember.
Clark, right?
Mhm.
And then we fast forward to the last bout that she had at 2300
Yep.
when the fight with Skye was announced, man. That
Yes.
yeah, that's crazy, man. It's been like 7 years, man. And then you know on Saturday, when David Diamante did say that, and the new,
Yes.
how was that, feeling to accomplish that goal there? You know what I mean?
Man, it was. Hey, listen, it was great. This is my second time winning a world title with a fighter. My first time was back in 2017, and I experienced that. That was awesome. And now this is the second time. So to hear that again, people always talk about, you do it once, it might have been a fluke, but when you can you do it again? Can you do it again? Well, here it is. Just to hear that and to see Tiara Brown emotion, because she's been passed by, she's been overlooked,
Mm-hmm.
she's been, in a way, in my opinion, mistreated in some ways coming up the ranks. Just to see all of that, um, all the wrong being made right on that night. Because I know the history.
Mm-hmm.
So just to see all of that come to life for her was a special moment. And I'm just glad that the good Lord used me to assist her, to help her, and to achieving her dream and becoming a world champion. It's definitely an honor for me to be there. Like I said, I've been working with her since 2019, and she's been a exceptional person from day one. She's a person of her word, and she works hard. She makes the job easy for me. To be able to implement a strategy uh, and to execute the way it was planned for. So I'm looking forward to what's next, whether it be a rematch or whatever they come up with. I'm sure her promoter and her management and Tiara, I'm sure all three will make the best decision. I'm sure she's going to let me know, and I'm going to advise her what I think is
Mm-hmm.
best for the team. So, we're looking forward to what's here. If it's a rematch, we look forward to it. It'll be better next time. I think Tiara gave her a little bit more respect in the first half than we needed to. But hey, overall, we know what we have to do. So hey, we're looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to coming. There's many options out there for her. and I'm sure she's gonna figure out what option she wants to do, and whatever she
Mhm.
wants to do, we're gonna prepare her for it. So we looking
Word,
for
word.
that's coming, yeah, no
Yeah,
question.
I have a question on one of those options here real quick, but I wanted to, go back to like, when we was out there at 2300 Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, after getting that win, and I spoke with you and I spoke with Tiara, and speaking with Tiara, it was like she finally said, "Oh, now I finally get this chance." Because
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned earlier, when you had Skye Nicolson against Deanna Vargas over in
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia, like
Yeah.
after that particular fight, Tiara was there as like a mandatory challenger,
Yes.
but also mentioning who they had with Raven Chapman. So they were
Right.
like, okay, let's go after Raven Chapman first.
Exactly.
Before even entertaining the thing with Tiara Brown. And then we talk about that, with Tiara and you being there at the 2300. And she said, "Oh, y'all thought that y'all were trying to pull a fast one to
The
try to
fix was
say,
in,
hey,
right?
we'll give you this amount of money to see if you'll sign." And then
Right.
thinking that she was going to pass up on it. And then they'll
Uh,
be like, "Oh, well, we tried to make the fight, but
right,
she."
right, right.
Like, "Oh, no. I got my pen right here.
Right,
I got my pen right here."
right,
So it was like no way that they could get out of it. So that
right,
so that was the thing about being motivated and ready, and like she said, "Hey, you ain't never ever seen anyone like me." So she already knew what the deal was there for
right.
this particular fight.
Yeah, man, that was so true. I mean, you work your way all the way up to number one to be the mandatory challenge, and then they try to pull a fast one on you so you can pull out of the fight. But Tiara is a different type of person. She understood that she has to go over there and take that. And when you take that, then you're in the
Yeah.
driver's seat. You can demand. You have more leverage for
Mhm.
further. You know, and she put herself in a position to now be in the driver's seat. Like I stated earlier, between her management and her promoter and herself, they'll make the best decision possible for her. But she got a lot of options. I mean, you ask me. Listen, Tiara weighed 124 pounds that night, and the day before weighing, she drank a milkshake and ate a fish burger to keep her weight higher than it needs to be because she was losing weight. She was losing weight. So
Mm.
she can make easy. She can make 122 pounds easy. She can go
Mm.
down. She can go down and challenge one of the 122 pounders for that title and become a two division title. Champion, two division champion. She can come back up, defend her title, unify, and eventually 130 is a little stretch because of right now she's just comfortably making 126. But at the
I
same time,
got you.
she can go up to 130 as well, put some weight on. So I mean, she has a lot of options. She can fight Skye again. There's a lot of things that she can do. I'm just running things over my mind because we
Right, yeah.
talk. But there's so many things that she can do. I'm sure they got some contenders. She's a fan friendly. She fights in a fan friendly style. So whoever comes to see Tiara Brown, they're gonna get their money's worth. They're gonna get action packed. We just gotta have another partner to dance with us. Who's gonna sit in there and show their skills rather than move around and dance around and hold and so forth and
Right,
so. But she's 36, but she's a young 36. She hasn't taken any damage. She
right.
live she live a very free a free lifestyle. What I mean by that is she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't live out of order. Put it like that. And
Oh, so she ain't like me. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just
she's a woman of faith. She has her faith believing in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and she's very strong foundation on that. So I mean, she has everything that it takes, and she's at the moment where now she gotta take advantage of the opportunities that are going to be being presented in front of her. And I'm all for it, man. She waited a long time, so let's make it happen.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mentioned you mentioned the thing there as far as like her your current situation. Like she was there as a WBC mandatory, so it really isn't like she has to fight, Skye Nicolson next.
Mm.
But that's still, like one of the options out there.
Right.
If there's like, a big fight coming up for one of the other champions in that division, that's on July 11th, where she has to go up, a division above there with Serrano going up
Right.
against Katie Taylor.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's very right.
you have and you have another champion that had a bout in September there with Nina Minky. So that could
Mhm.
be, a unification bout right there is
Absolutely.
with Tiara Brown and Nina Minky there. So
Mhm.
so that's definitely out there. And it got my guy there, Smack, asked, like, what do you think it is about your team that gets people to really buy into your way if through training and then coaching?
Well, I would say it has to do with integrity. Integrity to the sport, integrity to yourself. I'm a person that I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I've been through some life changing things that have occurred in my past, where I don't compromise anymore. I'm not a people pleaser.
Mhm.
My first go around, I was more trying to please people, and I allowed certain things that I normally wouldn't allow. I went against my own personal values. That I'm
Mhm.
not going to do that anymore. I don't care how good the fighter is. I'm going to stand on what I believe. And I think that attitude, that mindset, those beliefs, those religious beliefs that I have caused me to be able to have success. Because when people come to me now, they know that there's no Mickey Mouse. We're not playing around. You either get on board or check out. It's just that simple. We're gonna do it this way. I'm not saying my way is always the right way, but I listen to people. But we're gonna do it the right way. We're not gonna compromise doing things the wrong way or in a different way that I know is not conducive for the fighter. Therefore, I think I'm having a lot of success with my fighters because they believe in me, and they believe in what I bring, what I represent. And I got a resume that speaks for itself. I don't have to
Mhm.
say much. My resume speaks for itself. I mean, I was a good amateur. I was an undefeated professional. I am inducted into the Washington D.C. Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm a retired police officer. I'm a pastor at my church. I created my first world champion at the age of 41. Uh, my record as in championship fights are what, 5-1, 4-1. I'm not even sure. 4 wins, 1 loss, in world championship fights. This is my
Mhm.
fourth world title under my belt.
Yep.
I mean, this is a lot of things that I've accomplished at a young age, but I don't go
Mhm.
around bragging about it or acting like
Right.
I'm better than anybody. I'm humble.
Mhm.
I help anybody. I help, and kids come in the gym. They're not even trying to box, but I give them my time because I believe in life that God has called us to serve. And the way you get blessed is when you give, and you got to
Right.
give from the heart. You got to give with love. So the scripture said God loves a cheerful giver. And we're not just talking about monetary. Cheerful giving in all things, not just money, but love, attention, respect. All of these things are the things
Every
that,
time.
yes, the time, and I give these kids time, time that I
Mhm.
could say, man, I'm a world championship trainer. I don't have time to be dealing with this person, man. That's not the way I operate. I help anybody,
Mhm.
everybody, who is willing to listen, and like I said, go under these guidelines. I don't go looking for people. They come looking for me. So when they come, we sit down and have a talk, and I interview them and I let them know what I expect. And if you can't go with that, then I understand. I want to see you win. You just won't be winning with me, but I want
Mhm.
to see you win. But if you with me, it has to be this way. We gotta have integrity to the sport,
Yeah.
loyalty. You have to live a clean lifestyle. If you ain't living a clean lifestyle, you got to go train with somebody else. Um, and I think this is what is allowing those young men and women that come train with me. It's allowing them a success. You don't have to be the best. You just have to beat the best. And that's what we focus on. We focus on becoming the best and beating the best. And eventually you do things right, people gonna call you the best.
Right.
so so
Yep.
by the grace of God, we winning. And I think we're
Mhm.
gonna continue to win because we have that relationship. with the Most High, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I know I do, and He continues to blesses me because of the things that I do and how I do it, how I represent Him, the relationship that I have with God, and I think that's the core foundation of me and what goes and what transpire into my club and to those that train with me.
Word, for sure, for sure. You know, like you were saying there at the beginning, there, like you have your style and how you know are able to teach and guide your fighters and everything like that. But you know, like in the past, you pretty much made a couple of sacrifices that kind of like harmed you there in the long run at that particular time. But like for me, it's like I'm at currently at an age where I know that they have the saying that goes, "Hey, you can't please everybody," right? But I'm like this, man. In some cases, I'm like, you know what? I ain't here to please nobody but God. How about that? So that's kind of like how the thing goes there, with that and how to like carry yourself there with a lot of people out there. We got like another guest here that's about to jump on here for a minute. Just want to get this comment here from Smack Like That. He says he always has respect for you, coach. Him growing up in the Hillcrest area and walking past the white door behind the CVS back in the day that always says like Hillcrest Boxing.
That's right.
I mean, like I say, you're down the street there from like Iverson Mall. I used to stay out there by like the Suitland area, right by the over there by the Suitland station and things like that. So it's not that much of a drive from that particular point there. But wanted to have my guy on here talk a little bit here because we talked about Tiara Brown's win over Skye Nicolson over the weekend. He's the host of Brunch Boxing. His brother Matt here in the building, checking in. Brother Matt, you there with us? Let me see. There you go. What up? I can't quite hear him. You don't hear him?
No, I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like usually he has his things with the Oh, here we go.
I'm on the move, so yeah, I'm on the move. So trying to make a quick store run. Nah, but I was saying it's funny that you mentioned Tiara Brown because I literally just got finished interviewing her. So it was a great night, great morning over here. I thought she performed very well. I thought she won 7 rounds to 3. I was actually pretty surprised that it was a split decision. But with all the shit that she went through, first of all, to get this fight, and then all the abuse that she had to take at the hands of not just Skye Nicolson, but also her fans, like some of the nastiest things that you could say to a human being. So for her to finally have that moment where they say end the new, I thought, at least to me, so far this year, that's my favorite moment in boxing this year.
That's so right, man. That is so right. She had to take a lot of things that was said online. It got to the point where I went to her. I said, "Listen, I don't want you on social media at all till after the fight." And I said, "No, listen to me. I don't want you on social media." So she said, "I promise I'm not gonna be on it," because some of the things that were being said, they were really they were bothering her a bit because she would come to me and talk to me, and I said, "Listen, revenge is mine, says the Lord." Scripture. I said, you know what, your revenge is gonna come, and God's gonna take care of this. Just let Him fight your battle. All you gotta do is go in there and handle your business on that night, and we're gonna come out victorious. So all of those things that were said, really, it's unfortunate that we living in 2025, but yet people still have the mindset and the boldness to go on social media and say such things. But at the end of the day, revenge was ours. We got the W, and we could put all those things behind, and just treat people with decency, respect, and just show love. And as long as we continue to do that, we're going to continue to grow and continue to represent ourselves in a respectful manner towards humanity.
Yep, for sure, man. She talked about that, after the fight, as far as like all of the stuff that was said, and like you you advised her to, put that social media stuff off to the side, just go ahead and suspend that account or temporarily deactivate it, and then just focus on this fight because this is what you work for. This is what you work so hard for. and that you know what the goal is. So just zero in on that goal and focus on that. And she was able to do it there, in Australia.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, no doubt. Now we were talking about earlier with Tiara Brown as far as like having a fight previously on Overtime Boxing, and they've been doing their job there and pushing Tiara Brown and things like that. And now that she's a world champion with those multiple options that you were talking about, how about her being featured on the Overtime Boxing card?
Oh man, that would be awesome. I think she when she spoke when she was being interviewed, I think with Eddie Hearn, and she mentioned that Atlanta overtime. Let's bring it back to Atlanta. I think it's possible. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's definitely possible. I would like it to be in Atlanta. It's not that far from me, and the weather's going to be good. It's a city that's growing. Boxing is definitely on the horizon. Tiara is definitely a crowd pleaser. So if they can do it there, man, hey, I would love it. But like I said, I'm sure that her team, management and promoters, I'm sure they're going to get the best possible scenario for her. And Tiara is just, hey, whenever they give her the date, we're going to prepare and get ready for whoever they put in front of, whether it be Skye, Unification, or whatever comes our way. Just trust and believe that it's going to be a better performance, and we're going to be ready to just move forward and get some more belts if we can.
Yep, for sure, for sure. Brother Matt, you said that you were talking with Tiara earlier. There, as she's been doing the thing as far as like speaking with multiple media outlets and stuff like that. I was about to like mention Lisa Tiara, like, hey, maybe you should reach out to Matt from Brunch Boxing, but it looks like you already beat me to it there, Matt.
Hey, so what happened was, and I guess this is Coach's fault. I was supposed to have Tiara on before the fight, but her guy Tony from Overtime Boxing, he said she's locked in right now. She ain't do no social media, but I'll be the first person he calls after the fight. And the man stuck to his word, so we locked it in.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. And like you were saying there, being there at Hillcrest Boxing Gym, you got no numerous fighters there that's going to be preparing for their fights coming up here in these next few weeks and stuff like that. Like we were talking about with April 12th being part of that Pro Box card there, and then also was it April 19th? You'll have what is it? Maximus is going to be fighting on April. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So you got a number of guys out there, at the Hillcrest Boxing Gym that'll be doing their thing there. So it'll be a lot, like I said, a lot more work for you, out here for these next few weeks.
Yeah, we got Eric Hernandez. We have Francois Scarborough Jr. 907 knockouts. Irvin Trey Fuller, who's
Mhm.
over 5 knockouts. They're all going to be fighting on that card. I have the pleasure to work with all three of them. And then we have Maximus Garland on the 19th. And then after that, we got Jakeem Hutchinson. He's fighting on Greg Outlaw's promotion out in Bowie. I want to say it's like the 20 something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I gotta confirm that thing there for the Bowie State joint because he had Greg had just like announced that card.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
about that. See.
So we staying busy. We staying busy, and we just glad for the opportunity to stay busy to allow these young men to grow. This Pro Box card on No Excuse Promotion is going to be huge. I mean, the card is stacked with local talents. I think one of the main events is Jordan White, Short Dog. Uh,
Yep.
we have worked with Short Dog on numerous occasions, and he's definitely a fantastic fighter. We look forward to being on the undercard, and put our name and recognition as young up and coming fighters to be recognized. Hillcrest Heights Boxing Gym is growing. Like I said, we had our first world champion back in 2017, and in 2018 we unified. So we have a history of winning titles, not just world titles. We have a history of winning national champions. We have one of our national champions, who's 19 national champion, is Razor. What's the name? Can't think of his first name right now. But he goes by Razor, 178 pounder. The 19 national champion. And we have Terrell Cook, who's another amateur, who's a four-time national champion. He trains at our gym, and we have a great group of coaches. Coach Metro, Roger Taylor, who man was my assistant. Man, he's a phenomenal guy, very intelligent. He knows boxing. He's a former fighter. Great to deal with. Good person, man. In and out. We have Herb Martin. I don't know if you know Robert Herb Martin, who used to be an Olympian coach back. I think it was 2012 or 2016. I'm not sure exactly. With Gary Russell Jr. and him. We have Don Hollingsworth, who's another assistant. Man,
Junior, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Go
Man,
for
we
it.
have
Yep.
Keith Harrison, Dennis Kane. I don't want to miss any of the coaches, but we got Reggie Little. We got a great group of men. I mean, I'm talking about grown men, men that are living a righteous life. They're doing the right thing, and they're a good example to the camp. So everything starts from the top, and it just trickle down to the bottom. And I believe, I know this is why our club is doing so well, because of the people that are leading these young men to success. This is a family oriented. I call it La Familia. Of course, I'm Hispanic from Panama City, Panama. So this is La Familia de Boxeo. This is my boxing family, and I'm just thankful and grateful to represent my brand, Changing Faces Faith Christian Center Incorporated, along with Hillcrest Heights Boxing Gym. And this is the opportunity, our moment. We have so much ahead, and we just want to continue to give the fans what they're looking for: good, exciting fights, young men and women that are leading a good life and leading by example to these young up and comers that are coming up.
Yeah,
that's great. That is great. I wanted to ask you though, real quick, Ernesto, because obviously not everyone that comes to your boxing gym is going to be like a world champion or a big professional boxer. Can you just talk about the impact that your boxing?
You broke up. The impact that what you broke up.
Let's see if he.
No, I was wondering about the impact that your gym has on the community.
Absolutely. Yeah, the impact. Absolutely. The other kid that I was talking about was Khalil Robinson. He goes by Razor, Khalil Razor Robinson. The impact is huge because most of our kids do not compete. They don't compete in boxing. Most of the kids that we train, they come to the gym to build confidence, self-esteem, to work on strength. Some of them play football. They work on strength and conditioning, speed. We have another young lady that joined the gym 2 days ago. She came. She's not trying to compete. She came because she wanna get her footwork better. I mean, everyone that comes for a different story. Some of them say, well, my kids is being bullied, and I want him to learn how to defend himself. But majority of the kids that train at the gym, they don't compete. But the ones that do compete are solid as a rock, which allows me to know that although we have professionals and we have national champions, our community is recognizing that this is the gym that you could come to and be yourself. You don't have to pursue boxing as a career or as a sport, as a hobby. You could come and be part of something good. Listen, I teach more than boxing. I'm teaching about faith. I'm teaching about school. I'm teaching about finances, about saving. I speak about everything. I'm teaching kids how to be men, how to respect their parents, how to live amongst their brothers and sisters. Listen, this is a lifestyle that we must prepare our children, our youth. I have four of my own. My youngest is 16, so this is something that I'm just giving back to the community. We're not on the payroll. This is all volunteer, and the fact of the matter that people come and give their time. Those guys that I mentioned, they give their time. They're not getting paid, and these kids that are coming, and they come not to compete, but they come to be amongst us because they see something of good value that is within the program. It's not about boxing. It's bigger than boxing. It's about life.
Yeah. Yep.
And I tell everybody about my faith. You know, I believe in Jesus Christ, and who just how I changed my life. So I want people to also allow the Spirit of God to change their life for better, not for worse, but for better. And no matter what your faith is, we don't say you can't come. We want everyone to come and just be a good person and to give back because that's how you get your blessing, by giving.
Right, exactly. It's all about giving back, and like you said there, with the gym and things like that, it's not necessarily for, them to, people to pursue, boxing career or be there as an amateur, but, kind of like to see that this is like a positive, part of the community to be a part of. And, the thing there with boxing is, I've said it many times, like with boxing, it's like a martial art, so you'll be able to like practice, boxing and things like that. Because like you can go to a boxing gym, you can go to like a karate dojo or something like that to, say, hey, you know what, I have this as far as like something in reference to self-defense, but to have that positive impact to the community, that's what having Hillcrest there for. A lot of these boxing gyms are who are in the community that are there for. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, I'm a retired police officer, so I've been with the community for 20 plus years, um, and as a police officer, I learned that it's not all about uh, putting people in jail. It's about giving people an opportunity, teaching them, and I just took who I was from the beginning, and then as an officer, I gave back and I used that same platform in boxing to network the community with the police. You know, I think that we have to build a bridge, and I just use myself as an example to build that bridge with the community as I worked in law enforcement. Now that I'm retired, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm doing it now through my church and through boxing. And I think as long as we continue to do that, we will save lives. Because boxing does save lives. It builds character, it builds self-esteem, and gives people an opportunity to believe in themselves that I can do things. I can do it. And if you have faith in God and believe in yourself and apply your works to it, man, you can achieve anything. And I'm just happy to be able to assist and to help and to be a part of something great. And as long as I continue to do that, look, God continues to open doors for me. This is my second world champion, my fourth world title. I mean, I'm only 50 years old, so who knows what's ahead for me. And I'm just looking forward to the future. I'm grateful for the opportunities, for the good people that I meet. Uh, and it's just great, man. No, like I said, no excuse promotion. Got a show next week. I got three of my guys on the show. Lamont Roach Sr. is a very good friend of mine. And you start building a relationship with people like that amongst those great coaches that we have in DMV and great fighters. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's opportunities for everybody. We have some of the best fighters in the world right here. So all we got to do is just continue to work together and just support each other. I'm not trying to fight anybody locally. I'm not trying to go against my brother down the street. But if the opportunity comes when we get to the top, like Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis did, then you
Yeah,
make big dollar. You do it for that. But I have
exactly.
the mindset. I'm gonna have the mindset to help each other build, not to try to not the crab
Yeah, tear
in
up
the bush of
down and all that
having.
type of
Yeah,
stuff.
but
Yeah.
you have some coaches like that they want to fight you.
Mhm.
I want my guy to go against your guy, and they're only 9-0 or 10-0. What's the purpose of doing that? That's not the mindset. I want to help. I want to help my brother go to the next level. And when we get to the top and we can make some real money, like Tank and Lamont Rose did it, that's how you
Mhm.
do it. If you're from the same area, that's how you
Yep.
do it. It's not about trying to defeat each other. For what? What you want to say? You the neighborhood legend? That doesn't put any money in your pocket. Boxing is about
Mhm.
making money. It's about putting yourself in a position where you can take care of your family, and put yourself in send your kids to better school, establish a business, and walk away with your faculties. Surround yourself with the right people. But unfortunately, we see history repeats itself. the fighters go by the wayside. They make bad decisions, bad investments. They surround themselves with the wrong people. Well, I want to try to change that. I want to do my best that I can to try to change that and to help, to work together, to build, and to create champions. DMV has some of the best trainers, some of the best fighters, and I just I plead with these guys that let's work together. But I stay in my own line, in my own lane, my own business, and I try to show love to everybody. And as long as we can continue to do that, we're going to get the best fighters and best fights and best shows here right here in the DMV. I believe
Yeah,
so.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, that's the thing about it. Like you were talking about, you're there over at Hillcrest. You have, as you mentioned there with Lamont Road Senior there, no excuse. It's pretty much like down the road. It's not that far, in between those gyms that you have there, and multiple gyms that are around the area. Actually, just within that little part alone, there's like at least 3 or 4 gyms that I probably know about. So it's about building together and showing that this particular area is like one of the best areas for boxing, and having like shows like we're gonna have coming up on April 12th that will showcase a number of the fighters there in the area that says, hey, you know what, we got ourselves a great thing going on here in this particular
Yes.
area. And that's part of the thing that we're trying to build also from the media perspective. So when I have this thing coming up on Friday night with the DMV Boxing Network, we're going to be talking about their fight card on April 12th. We're going to have Lamont Roach Sr. there to talk about that fight card and talk about a number of the fighters that will be featured in it. So that's the thing. It's about building what we got going on in the area and going. Yeah.
Absolutely, looking forward to it, man. We have so much talent. Like I said, this card coming up is going to be filled with talented fighters from different gyms, represent their squad, and each and every one of them they're good fighters, man. And I recognize it. I'm here to tell you, man. You want to grab your ticket. You want to attend that show at Maryland Live, No Excuse Promotion, Pro Box TV. Card. It's gonna be epic, man. I mean, you got Jordan, Short Dog White, who's the headliner, and as you go down the line, you're gonna see number top guys, man. And if you know what I know, Pro Box is promoter that makes fair fights. They're not one-sided, and I like that because that's how you really develop your fighters. If you're going to become a champion, you want to fight fighters that are going to help you develop, not that you're going to hit and they're going to fall out and you think you're doing something. So these fights are definitely going to be competitive, and I know for a fact that our DMV guys are going to show out and are going to put on a great performance come April 12th. Just like Tiara Brown did, like she did going all the way to Australia and defeating the odds. Listen, those that bet on that, they got paid. So,
Yeah.
I got a few calls. I got a few calls about some people made some real money. You know what I tell them? Where my cut at?
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, that was definitely the case there because we just knew that Tara was gonna get the win. And as you mentioned there with that fight card coming up on April 12th, like you said, Irvin Fuller is gonna be on there. Eric Hernandez is gonna be on there. You got Francois Scarborough Jr. that's on there. With Fuller and Scarborough, they're like the ABO champions there within their
Yes.
respective divisions. So they're definitely going to be showcased here on April 12th. What we got my guy Talk Twins in the building. Like you said, hey, how's it feel to make 2 champions there, yo? One, like you said, they're back in 2017, 18, and now here with Tiara Brown.
Man, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I tell you, when you do it once, people always ask you, can you do it again? But I remember having a conversation with Al Heyman, right? Back in maybe 2019. I was on the phone with Al Heyman, and we was having a deep conversation, and he said to me, Ernesto, you're young, you have a great attitude. there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to develop more champions. He said, you're going to be like the next Emmanuel Stewart. And I say, Emmanuel Stewart. He said, yeah, you can be like the next Emmanuel Stewart. All you got to do is keep doing what you're doing. Now, whether Mr. Al Heyman was saying that to be 100% genuine, not saying that he wasn't, but whether he was or whether he was saying that to uplift me, encourage me, or just to make me feel good, it's amazing how the words that people say that sometimes stick with you. And that conversation stuck with me, and I say that to say because someone came back and told me the same thing, that I said something to them a while ago, and they told me that my conversation stuck with them, and they came back and told me that how much it meant to them. So I'm here to tell you that conversation that Mr. Al Heyman and I had that night stuck with me. Like I said, whether he was 100% genuine or whether he was just trying to encourage me, uplift me, or whatever it was, what I can say is that conversation stuck with me. And I believed it, just like when he said it, I believed it. I believed that I could do it. And here it is. I done it. And I'm here. I'm going to go on record and tell you that I'm going to do it again. Because then I know I can, and I know that I will. I just feel it in my soul, in my spirit, that things are going to open up, and we have more people coming, and more people that are going to become world champions. And man, I tell you that the future looks good thus far, and I'm just happy to be in a position. And like I say, I'm very approachable. With anybody, whether it's a coach or a fighter. I'm very approachable. You can ask me anything. I'm gonna give you the truth. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But I like to try to be, with respect, of course. But I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to just climbing the ladder, humble and with grace.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, and it's something there that you talk about there with Emmanuel Stewart. There, of course, legendary trainer, got rest his soul and things like that. But I've talked with multiple people there that have been around Emmanuel Stewart, and I said, I mean, yes, he's a legendary trainer, but I wouldn't say that you would be like Emmanuel Stewart, because Emmanuel Stewart had a certain word that he says a lot. you can't necessarily say right
Now,
now.
now we talk about the accomplishment, the champions that he worked with. Only
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, man. And talk trash talk about man with Francois Scarborough. They're the next champion there. I'm telling you, he's developing himself to be really out there as far as like I think it's super featherweight division that he could really do some things here in the future, because like he has like a big following here within the area itself, of course, Scarborough Nation and everything like
Yes.
that. So
Right.
you said with come April 12th, that's gonna make up Maryland Live Casino. You're gonna see a lot of support there for
Oh,
a lot of fighters that will be featured on there.
they're wearing white, so everybody gonna be wearing white that's coming to see him. Believe that.
Yep, right. He had a white theme over at the that was at Entertainment and Sports Arena there
Uh-huh.
where you fought Ferris Dixon Jr. And then in
Yeah.
his last bout, they had it there with pink. So
Yeah.
you're going back to the white theme
Yeah.
there with Professor Scarborough G. So definitely looking forward to that. And of course, like you mentioned there with Irvin Fuller the third, that's
Yes.
going to be on the card as well. And you're going to also have Eric Hernandez that'll be featured on the card there for April 12th there. So you got something there. I want to see if my guy Matt is still able to
Yeah,
get
I'm
on.
back. I'm back. I'm
Okay,
back.
cool,
I'm
cool.
back. Yeah, I just because the supermarket that I go to is like a damn warehouse, so there's like no reception.
Yeah, yeah, I got like a market down the street where if I go into that market, man, it's pretty much like almost like underground or something. So once I have like 3 steps in that store, it's a wrap. You feel me?
Yeah,
Let me give you.
I had to go. I had to go get some oatmeal cream pie. So, Coach, I will be joining your gym sometime soon.
Come through, man. Come through anytime. You're more than welcome. I had to give y'all. I had to give y'all a peek of my first coach's belt right here. I'm
Yep.
waiting. I'm waiting on the WBC. They said they're gonna send me one. So once
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get that,
You're supposed to
I'm
have
gonna
that
add
belt.
that to
Yeah.
my collection.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That man said oatmeal cream pies. Come on, man. Oh, oh, jeez, man. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. You got another question for Ernesto, brother Matt?
Yeah, what's next? You got a new world champion. What's next? What's next for your world champion? What's next for you? Who's next out of your gym to win a world title?
Well, listen, we waiting to see what management and her promotional company wants to do with Tiara. I'm sure they're going to be talking with her in reference to that soon. Once she lets me know, I'm an advisor as to what my thoughts are. And her team going to make a great decision. I'm sure they're going to make the best decision for her, and we get ready for that. Whether it be unification or whether it be defending a rematch, it doesn't matter. I think Tiara is ready. This is her time, and whatever comes her way, we're going to prepare. My job is to prepare her, and she will be just that when the opportunity presents itself. In addition to that, we have some up and coming fighters that I'm working with. Francois Scarborough Jr., who's 9-0 with 7 knockouts, 130-pound fighter, great speed, devastating puncher. He's still learning how to sit down on his punches, how to be smooth with it. As we know, creating a champion is a process. You as you learn, you get better and better, and you minimize your mistakes. And that's what we're working on. You guys are going to see Frankie, the franchise, come on the 12th. We had some great opponents. One was 12-3, the other one was 20-6. Both of them declined the fight. Now we're waiting on some other guys. But you're going to see a great performance. I promise you that. We have Irvin Trey Fuller, 9-0 with 5 knockouts. Man, this kid only had 22 amateur fights. I turned him pro because he had all the attributes to become a successful professional fighter. And as you can see, he's 9-0 with 5 knockouts. He's developing, man, rapidly, getting stronger. Man, he is, I would say, the most disciplined one out of all of them. And that's why he's moving so fast. Humble kid. We also have Maximus Garland, 7-0 with 7 knockouts. He came to me this year. We got 2 fights. I got 2 fights with him. 2-0 with 2 knockouts under my leadership. This kid is super talented. Man, he has talent going to bed. And as we that's him right there. As we begin to build chemistry, it's coming along extremely well. His dad is alongside with the team, myself and Rogers Taylor, aka Metro. Man, we're building a great foundation. We're adding to the foundation that he already had. I'm allowing him to be able to box a little bit more, to use his length. Devastating puncher. We have Eric Hernandez, who trains with Matthew Abergrew, who's his head trainer. I'm the assistant trainer, kind of like work with Matthew as the head trainer as well. It doesn't matter what role I play. My role is to help the team win, and to become successful. That's my guy right there. And Diego Abergrew, that's myself, Diego, and Matthew. Man, Eric been working with me for about 5 years now. And we spoke this what's happening right now. We spoke this to life 5 years ago when he came. He hadn't fought in 5 years, and we talked, and he said, I would like to come work out with you, and here we are now going into pro box, a third fight if I'm not mistaken. And he's getting better and better. He spars with Frankie quite a lot. Between them two, they help each other out. And man, let me tell you, it's fire. It's fire. I have to tell him something. Hey, man, pull back a little bit. Say that for the say that for the fight. And you also have Jakeem Hutchinson, who's 11-1. Another young fighter who's definitely coming up the ranks. I've been working with him since the amateurs, but he did not turn pro on me. He came back, and I had actually as head coach. I think I only had 2 fights with him. Brandon Quarles was his head coach for the past 4 or 5 fights before that. But I was working along with Brandon, but Brandon was his head coach. Now Brandon want to fight again, so now I guess somehow, some way, I got the job of head coach with him. But like I said, the objective is to help everybody win, and we got some amateurs and pros coming up. Marlon Smith is another kid, southpaw. a devastating puncher. We're trying to get him on the show. Man, we got some great guys, but like I said, those guys fight on Pro Box coming up, man. Be on the lookout for them guys.
Yep, for sure, man. Like you said there with Brandon Quarles. I mean, yeah, he was back active there last year. He had what was it, a couple fights over at the Entertainment and Sports Arena. I know he was there on the Davis Boxing Promotions card. And I was out there for the one that they had in August there. He had another fight that was out there in last November too. So yeah, he's definitely back at it, back active and things like that there too. So
we're trying to get him. We're trying to get him a big fight too. Since he has a lot of experience. He's up in age, so we're trying to go ahead and get him a big fight and get him hopefully a belt or something, and then he can say that he accomplished everything he wanted.
For sure, man. You got Spec. Was out there over at Rosecroft there and enjoyed seeing Francis Scarborough Jr. There on that last Pro Box card that they had over at Rosecroft Wasteway. He said, made the necessary adjustments to show that he don't just go for the knockout. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's definitely been developing as a fighter there. Like I said, they're a 130-pound division, and so we're looking forward to seeing him being part of that April 12 card. You just like you said, a couple of opponents said that he didn't anyone.
Listen, he fought Bam Bam, who was 7-0, and then before that, he fought Ferris Dixon, who was 5-0. A decorated amateur with multiple national titles. People were calling me, right? People were calling me, asking me, why are you taking that fight, man? Why are you putting him in the risk? And I said, man, I don't see what you see, man. But what I tell you, when I look at a fight, style makes fight. Style. If I see a style of a fighter and I know we can get him, I don't panic. People were calling me, man, you gonna lose this fight. And I said, listen, man, you just sit back and watch. And as you can see, we stopped him. We actually made him quit. And then we came back and fought Bam Bam, who been he actually went on a social media war with Scarborough, because Scarborough didn't want to fight him because of the disrespectful things that were being said to him. And I told him, listen, this is business, man. Let's take that fight. We can win this fight. And he gave Scarborough a very tough fight, but we made the adjustments and won unanimous decision. And these are the type of fights that we need, that's going to allow a fighter to grow to the next level and hopefully become a world champion. Fights like these, and we're in the right direction. And we believe in ourselves, and Pro Box believe in us, and here we are.
For sure. Like like I said, we got the thing there with Francis Scarborough Jr. that's gonna be on. They're signed with Pro Box TV. You got Eric Hernandez that's gonna be going up against Johnny Spell on the fight card. You got Irvin Fuller III going up against Roberto Carlos Cisneros on the card as well. So you definitely have a few fighters that will be featured on April 12th for that's going on and going down.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to it.
Yep, no doubt, man. So just here, like I said, thanks once again for taking the time here to be on with the Boxing Source and everything like that. Matt, you got anything else for Brother Ernesto here? He might still be on the run or something like that.
Nah. I'm about to cook dinner now, man. So late dinner. Got some fish and vegetables. About to go cook real quick.
I thought he had a couple more oatmeal cream pies that he was going to partake in or something like that. You feel me? So that's what you got right there, man. So, Brother Ernesto, for those that listening in or be watching the replay, tell them where they can follow you and what's going down out there with Hillcrest Boxing Gym.
You can follow me on Changing Faces _2005 Facebook and IG, and on Twitter I'm on Ernesto Rodriguez. Hillcrest Heights Boxing Gym 4801. I'm sorry, 4108. Hillcrest Heights Boxing Gym is located at 4108 23rd Parkway, Temple Hills, Maryland, directly behind the shopping center. Hey, just like I said, we just like to help those that need to be that want to be helped. We like to deal with good people. You bring a good attitude, a good positive mentality, and I think we can make those that people overlook and turn them into champions. That's what I've been doing from day one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like you said, it's like not that far from Iverson Mall. There, just a little bit of a drive down from Iverson Mall. You'll be able to be right there where the Hillcrest Boxing Gym is and things like that. So, definitely looking forward to more there from your fighters and more from you here coming up in the near future. And I don't know, maybe within probably before the fights happen, I might make a visit out there to Hillcrest Boxing Gym. So we got to see how that goes down with that. You know what I mean?
More than welcome, man. I appreciate you having me on. It was a pleasure to be on. I'm not usually on podcasts or videos, but nevertheless, when someone asks me for the opportunity to do it, I think it's only the right thing to give back and to do what we're doing tonight. So I appreciate you asking me, and I'm thankful and grateful to be on your podcast and to be able to share what happened, what took place, and what's to come.
All right, not a problem, not a problem. So definitely looking forward to more here from Ernesto Rodriguez. Like I said, you got a lot of fighters there at Hillcrest Boxing Gym, so we're looking forward to it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a blessed night. Take care.
All right, you too, for sure, for sure. So there we go. We have our guy there, Ernesto Rodriguez, that was able to take part in this conversation. Of course, he led Tiara Brown to the WBC featherweight championship there over Skye Nicolson over in Australia, and definitely has more coming up as we were mentioning there, particularly April 12th, April 19th. You got a number of fighters that are going to be featured there from Hillcrest Boxing Gym. So definitely looking forward to that coming up here. So that was great there to have Brother Ernesto on there with us. Brother Matt, of course, has been
before you get out of here though, that Hillcrest Gym, is that near Iverson Mall? Iverson
yeah,
Mall?
yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
because Tiara Brown told me I should get some snickerdoodle cookies from Iverson Mall. So I just wanted to see how far the cookie shop was from the gym, so I don't feel so bad about myself when I get me a dozen snickerdoodles.
Hey, man, there's that Iverson Mall, man. I don't know. It'll either be this like the snickerdoodle cookies or something, but they also had like a whole bunch of fast food spots right there at Iverson Mall. They got a Bojangles up in there. I think they got like well, of course they got the customary thing there with Chipotle and all that type of stuff. So yeah, you probably. Yeah, you probably be taking a good amount of time being out there at Iverson Mall. Yeah, my God, respect like that. So yeah, great cookies there. Now, man, I mean, I have a few things here. I wanted to go over here real quick. Of course, we got the fight cards coming up March 29th. You got the Top Rank card that's coming up. You got the thing there with Golden Boy Promotions that's coming up there. So you got the rematch between Mikaela Mayer and Sandy Ryan. You got Brian Norman Jr. with that first defense of his WBO welterweight championship against Derek Cuevas. That's going to be part of that Top Rank card. Of course, Bruce Carrington's on that card against Enrique Vivas. You got Tiger Johnson on there, Emiliano Vargas. So we got a lot of action there that's going to be on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and then that rematch between William Zepeda and Tevin Farmer that's going to be on the zone there over in Mexico there. So anything you got on any of those fights there real quick?
Not really. I don't know if you saw the news, but Golden Boy just announced Gabriela Condora. She's going to be fighting Marilyn Bandillo April 19th. And then the co-feature is going to be Charles Conwell against Jorge Garcia Perez, who's like ranked highly in all the 154-pound sanctioned body stuff. So it looks like they're building him towards the title shot. I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, as for this weekend, Tevin Farmer to me had the fight of his life against Zepeda. If Zepeda is who people think he is, I'm thinking he's gonna bounce back. I didn't really think a rematch was necessary. They should have got it right the first time and gave Farmer the decision. I don't think Farmer's going to be able to get a decision in Mexico, against a Mexican fighter. So if he ain't hitting to knock him out, then brother, you're about to get robbed again. Enjoy the payday. The Mikaela Mayer Sandy Ryan fight, I think that is the fight of the weekend. That's the fight I'm looking most forward to. The first fight, like from the build up to the fight, was perfect. You had the paint incident and the nude photograph Sandy Ryan posted on Twitter. Shout out to her. She got through a tough weekend. You also had Kay Caroma being a traitor, going over to Sandy Ryan. Like everything about that whole build-up and fight was perfect. And then the fight itself was one of the best women's fights of the year. So I'm expecting more of the same, obviously without the drama, but I'm expecting another women's fight as a candidate. Brian Norman Jr., he's in a tricky spot. I feel he should have took the Boots fight because that's a bigger fight, more money. I guess Adrian Clark, who's his manager, and his dad, Brian Norman Sr., I guess they're betting on him to keep winning because he needs to keep winning because he turned down a career high payday, like basically more than like 7 times what he's made previously. So he has to keep winning. He's in there against a tricky opponent in Derrick Cuevas. He's not a pushover. I know a lot of people haven't heard of him, but he keeps cracking a little bit, and he does have a little bit of skill. Now, with Brian Norman Jr., you know, I was told that he's had like hand injuries for a while, and now that's completely healed, and he might be punching like he was punching before he signed in South Lake. So I'm curious what it looks like. To me, this is a watershed moment for him as a fighter because this is going to show us, is this guy one of the key players at 147, or is this just a division that's for Boots, Barrios, and Stanionis? We need to see Brian Norman Jr. have the performance of his life. I want to see him demolish this guy. You know, that's what I want to see.
Right. You know, he's had, you know, a couple of conversations there during fight week, you know, talking about, you know, having the fights that he's had in the past. You know, the one that he had before he had became at the time, the WBO interim champion there, you know, where he got that, you know, that TKO victory and things like that against Santillan or whatnot. And then the one before that where he faced Jenelson Boca Chica, where, you know, it was like you know, he got cut real early in that one. And the one before that, like going up against Quentin Randall, like, you know, they had it to where he's like, okay, is he supposed to be in the same conversation with an Hermanos Stanionis, with a Mario Barrios, with a Jerome Boots in it? So he's like saying, hey, you know what, I see what's here ahead of me and things like that. I just got to make sure that I take care of business here against Derrick Cuevas because I know what's on the horizon right after that. Like people are saying like, hey, you had the thing there where you could have had the fight with Boots Ennis and it didn't fall through. So now it's like after this, hey, you know, see if you could go right after, you know, who would be a unified champion there after April 12th. So this one here is a really key bout for Brian Norman Jr. And as you were mentioning there with the main event, the rematch between Sandy Ryan and Mikaela Mayer, as you know, the first bout, you know, I said was, you know, the Boxing Source 2024 Women's Fight of the Year between those two at the theater at Madison Square Garden. You talked about the whole thing that happened before the fight. You know, Kay Caroma and his team out there, you know, being formerly there in the corner of Mikaela Mayer. You know, that's definitely going to be a big bout here for both fighters there for this WBO welterweight title. And, you know, for Mayer at that time, you know, it was that she kind of like fell short in a couple of the big bouts that she had in the past. So her being able to have the performance that she did have against Sandy Ryan to win the title there, you know, kind of like makes it that, you know, that was a culmination moment there for her. Now it's her opportunity to prove it once again against Sandy Ryan there in the rematch. And then we talk about the thing there with William Zepeda and Tevin Farmer. And, you know, you kind of like made a little bit of a point there. Like, you know, William Zepeda should have been like, you know what? I got this decision win. I'm good. Let me go ahead and move forward here. Because if he did, hey, maybe we could be saying they could line up a fight there between him and Shakur Stevenson. Now he has to go through this particular fight again against a tricky fighter, a tricky veteran, former world champion in Tevin Farmer, where, you know, yeah, it's over in Mexico, but, you know, Zepeda can't be playing around in this instance because he knows that he could potentially have that fight against Shakur Stevenson later on down the line. And if he trips up in any way, whether it's, you know, a loss or like a very tough win or something where he gets like injured in a way, then that delays a fight or a potential fight there with Shakur Stevenson. So that's a lot of pressure, at least for me, there for William Zepeda, for him to take care of business against Tevin Farmer there. And you also like announced the thing there with Gabrielle Fendora. She was out there at Mandalay Bay Event Center to watch her brother win there against Cordell Booker. You had brother Mike there from Brunch Boxing there as a correspondent that did talk to Gabriella Fendora there, and at the time she was saying that there will be a pending announcement for her next fight coming up. So now that they have that secured there, she's looking forward to having a bout there coming up, defending her undisputed titles there. So a lot of news out there for the sport of boxing and things like that. And like I was mentioning there, just definitely looking forward to this action coming up on March 29th on Saturday. You got the action on the Zone and the action on ESPN Plus or ESPN or whatever it is for people to look forward to. Is there anything else here that you wanted to talk about? Because I know that we kind of like shared a little bit of news as far as like what's going on behind the scenes in the sport of boxing. But is there anything that you want to point out?
And listen, the war between Turkey Island Sheik and Gary Jonas is heating up, my friend. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Boxing fans, if you don't know what's going on with Turkey Island Sheik and Gary Jonas, listen, just go to the Brunch Boxing on Twitter or go to the Brunch Boxing website. It's all on there, bro. I love it, man. Listen, Turkey Island Sheik, Gary Jonas, don't ban me for what I'm about to write. That's all I'm saying, because this is good stuff, man. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so Matt won't necessarily delve on it, right? But for those that may not know, you have this thing here with Turkey Island Sheik, of course, who is supposedly trying to take over boxing. And one of the things that he has done there in the past is his recent acquisition of Ring Magazine. Okay, Ring Magazine, of course, has been historically, as I guess some would say, the flagship for covering the sport of boxing over a century or whatever it is, right? And you have Gary Jonas, of course, who is heading Pro Box Promotions or Pro Box TV, that also recently acquired BoxingScene.com. Okay, if you have Ring Magazine as one, you have Boxing Scene as another. That's been the what I would say a corporate entity when it comes to covering the sport of boxing. So if y'all have a number of those writers that you may know about, they've been affiliated with Ring Magazine or Boxing Scene. Now, it seems like Gary Jonas has had a lot to say about Turkey Island Sheik on multiple subjects, and one of them is in reference to how the sport is covered in stories that have been put out and things like that. So, like you said, there you'll go to a Brunch Boxing, there on a Twitter and on X to kind of catch up on that, because you'll have a couple of comments there from Gary Jonas there, so to speak, in reference to that. But hey, y'all better be on the lookout too, because I'm working on to see if I can have a conversation with Gary Jonas as well. But they're back and forth. Hey, you know who else we need to talk to? I need to talk to Jake Donovan. That's who I need to talk to in reference to all of this.
Well,
I would love to hear from Jake Donovan.
I don't know if I should be announcing it right now, but on March 31st, which is the day he is a free man, Jake Donovan will be a guest on Brunch Boxing.
There you go.
And the person Jake Donovan, fuck you and good night.
And Jake Donovan has been kind of like a little bit, had a couple of comments there in reference to Turkey Island Sheik in the past too. Oh man, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. I can't wait for that one. I'm sorry, I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be really good there. And then also, I had talked about this a little bit on yesterday there with War Week Boxing there, of course, hosted by Joseph Heron. And, you usually have the thing there with Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields, but, Ronnie Shields has been, under the weather here the past couple of days, just get well soon there, Coach Ronnie Shields. And one of the things there that we talked about was, the developing story about Keyshawn Davis potentially having his first defense of that WBO lightweight title, and it could be against Edwin De Los Santos, as De Los Santos pretty much told Mill City Boxing that, hey, we pretty much almost signed on the dotted line to fight Keyshawn Davis for that WBO lightweight title. Now, Matt from Branch Boxing here has kind of like told folks as far as like updates with Edwin De Los Santos that, he had been recovering from, a blood clot that really, was really serious there, that was life threatening. So, he is able to get back, from that. And, some had pretty much thought that he would be set up to potentially fight Frank Martin. But now it looks like he's in line to be facing Keyshawn Davis for that WBO lightweight title. And, I had like some word in reference to Keyshawn Davis's next fight that it would be in Norfolk. That was from some time back. And, now recently, I got like from another source that, hey, that's the move there coming up in June, that you'll see Keyshawn Davis back at the Scope Arena there for June for his first defense of that WBO lightweight title. So, that's one thing on one front. The other thing was that from one of those same sources, Top Rank, ESPN, not looking good. It's looking like they may not go ahead and have another run with ESPN. Of course, the network contract with ESPN is going to be over in the summer, and we got to see what happens there, from that. But from what I've been told, it's not looking all good towards that right now. Got like a few more guests here coming in. And I know that there's one here that's about to jump on here that, is, preparing for something that's coming up, on Friday. Okay. There's a big event that's happening on Friday night. And this person is looking forward to it because, he has a lot on the line for this. So we got to bring him up here, for a little bit. It's the Boxing Academic. The Boxing Academic is here with us right now. Here on the Midweek Report. What's going on there, Boxing Academic?
What's going on, guys? I just really wanted to be a fly on the wall. I don't think I have much to contribute, but I just wanted to come on. So
that doesn't stop you every Sunday. I don't get it.
I have stuff to contribute on Sunday.
Oh, my bad. You know what? Let me stop. Like, I'm not trying to get you to buy a t-shirt. So my bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to you offline.
Yeah, you see that?
I do say that, but if you respond to my messages on Twitter, then I think I done messaged you like 5 times, maybe like 3, but I feel like a groupie trying to get in contact with you.
You got it. You can't comment on something because my notifications, man. You gotta understand, I'm popping, so my notifications are crazy, man. You probably get lost in like the thousands of notifications I get every day.
That's fair. You big time. I got it.
Yeah. So I mean, we got, of course, what's going down on Saturday. Like I said, Top Rank, got something on ESPN Plus. You got Golden Boy with the William Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer rematch there, on the Zone. So, we got a lot of action that's happening here on Saturday. So, we're just looking forward to that, that's coming up and things like that too. So, that's mainly the thing there that we got on slate, here for now. And like I was saying, we had Ernesto Rodriguez on here, and he was able to talk about Tiara Brown's win over Skye Nicolson. And he has a lot of fighters, of course, there from Hillcrest Boxing Gym that will be featured on April 12th there at the Maryland Live Casino. So that's pretty much been very packed show here for this edition of the Midweek Report there. So Box Academic, I'm not sure if you have anything for what's upcoming here for the top ranked card or with William Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer rematch. If anything, do you have something on that?
Didn't Tevin Farmer get knocked out last time?
No, he almost won the fight.
Oh no, he won the fight. They just didn't give the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so they had a rematch in Mexico this time around. So Tev got a real obstacle here for this one.
But Boxing Academic, who's fighting in the top ranked card on Saturday?
Give me a second while I Google it.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you want to tell me.
I know.
Didn't James just explain to you that basketball is on this weekend and that's the most important thing that's going on?
Hey, listen, I ain't even mad at you, to be honest, because I need to watch the tournament too. I need to find something to watch. I can't watch the women's tournament no more because my baby Juju got hurt. So, that kind of killed the tournament.
Yeah. They still won the game by like, I don't know, it was like 30 points or something. But yeah, Juju got hurt. You know what though, Matt? I was gonna say something about it, but I'm really gonna hold back on it because I know if you follow Juju Watkins, there was something else that went down a little bit before that. And like I said, I'm just gonna refrain from anything, man, because that if I said something, it would be like supremely savage if I did. So I ain't even.
You say JD5's mama put a little bad juju on Juju. I think that's the end of the show.
Yeah, that pretty much concludes this edition of the Midweek Report. Big thanks for everyone that's been able to listen live. If you catch the replay, we really appreciate that. If you can, just hit the like button, hit the share button here for the Boxing Source YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, you can also subscribe there. And like I said, we'll be back at it here with the Boxing Source podcast coming up on Sunday evening. But also, like I said, with the pilot episode of the DMV Boxing Network, where we're going to have special guest Lamont Roach Sr. on. That'll be Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time here. So you will be sure to catch all of that. And, with that being said, that's what I got here for the Midweek Report, y'all. I'm out. Peace.